this evening I'm in the heart of Westminster, where I've been addressing the London University Conservatives about the issue of Brexit, but also about some of the things that the London University Conservatives can do together. And at the end of the talk, I'm here with a number of students. I'm here with Freya from the LSE, I'm here with Matthew, also from the LSE, and Jack from King's College. And what they're going to do is ask me some questions, and then we're going to I'm just going to simply answer them. So Freya, what's your question?
My question is, what do you think about the strategy that's been taken, and do you think it's the right one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Theresa May in terms of her experience in Brussels. When she was Home Secretary, she had a very good reputation. She opted us out of some things in Home Affairs, and then she opted us back in, and therefore she is someone who has to be on top of her brief. She will not invoke Article 50 until she's absolutely clear about what she's asking for, and she's read those papers. And we can expect that sometime in the first quarter of next year. What about you, Matthew?
So I'm kind of interested in what opportunities Brexit's going to have for the UK to branch outside of Europe, particularly as an Australian international student, kind of opportunities for trade and more links in terms of immigration, especially for young people who want to come over here. And I'm wondering what you reckon Brexit's going to lead to in that one.
Well, I think there are two huge opportunities which you both mentioned. First of all is the issue of trade. And at the moment, being part of the EU means that we can only sign trade agreements if all the 27 other countries agree, which means that you can only go as far as fast as the slowest country will allow you to go. And that means that, Britain will be able to sign exciting new trade agreements with other countries around the world, even if the rest of the EU didn't want to. And the second one, I think, which is hugely important, is this whole idea of people from all around the world being treated equally. At the moment, we have a migration policy where you don't have limits on people from the EU, but you have limits on skilled people, for example, from outside the EU. What we can now have, hopefully, is a migration policy based on the skills and needs of this country, where we treat everyone equally outside the UK. What about you, Jack?
Thank you very much for coming, Syed. 52% of the electorate voted for Brexit. However, of these 52%, people voted for very different things. Some voted from an internationalist standpoint to try and lock into more global growing markets. Some voted from an isolationist standpoint to try and roll up the drawbridge. And some even voted from a socialist standpoint, from the Labour Party. What is the onus on the government to address all of these factions, and should it address all of these factions or not?
And I think Theresa May recognises that, and actually if you look back at the referendum, both campaigns were coalitions. Both the Remain camp and the Leave camp were coalitions. But the points you make about the Leave camp, and actually I think we can address all those. First of all, it's important that we send a message that Britain is open for business and that we're global. But at the same time, we've got to remember in global competition, there are people who lose out. And I think we have to address the concerns of some of those communities who might have voted for Brexit because they felt left behind. And some of the issues that you've seen Theresa May address, such as she's looked at ideas for getting workers more involved in companies. She wants to look at the issue of Chinese investment, make sure there's fair competition. I think what you're going to see from Theresa May is, first of all, a strong policy of pursuing Brexit and being more international. But the second stage is also making sure that we address concerns of some of those who feel left behind. I mean, I think these have been great questions. I want to thank you all very much for coming along tonight. And I think it's going to be, hugely exciting as we look forward to the opportunities that Brexit gives both the United Kingdom, but also it's great that we will once again be a global Britain. Okay, well, Freya, Matthew, Jack are not the only people in this pub here tonight with me. We actually have a packed room as you look around, and it was a really good audience tonight. Actually wanted to talk about many of the issues that people are concerned about, not only Brexit, but some of the issues about how we make sure that the message of the right is more relevant to all communities.